There we go. Let's see if we get that right. All right. Hello, I'm here in the bunker. Welcome, people. Come on in. Come on in, people. The doors are open. There's a sale on. Things are happening today, right here at the Mind Scrambler podcast. Oh, man. Oh, what a morning, people. What a morning. So we are live. We are live. And I don't know how to do certain things here. 6 penguins just followed me. Excellent. Who doesn't like 6 penguins? Somebody who prefers 7 penguins, I would think. That's what it is. Oh, yes, well, I understand that completely. Totally weird. I'm going to bet that 6 penguins just joined me. That's what I'm going to bet. Is that you, 6 penguins? Let's see, I get the chat thing out and move this around a little bit. Boom, boom, ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. There we go. All right. Red Nova time, baby. What's up? Oh, damn it. All right. Shit. This is dangerous. I got my coffee over here, and I got a book here, and working on this. There we go. All right. Got it set up. Feeling good. Feeling better. All right, peoples. Good to see you. 6 penguins is here. Oh, it's a good day. Chicks with bricks, chicks with blocks, chicks with bricks and blocks and clocks. As you can tell, I'm a father. And I was reading Fox and Socks last night to my boy. Was it a tweedle beetle battle and a noodle eating poodle and a bada 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 and a beata bada booty. Oh, kind of craziness. But it helps get me with my, my voice keeps me with tongue twisters and all of that. Helps me to enunciate better, which is interesting. I'm doing, so you guys know this tooth is fake and it can come out. Okay. So it's a little thing. And I had to learn how to speak with that correctly because as soon as I had that tooth pulled, I had to do a voiceover session the next day. So I had to really get myself together. And it's funny because 2 days ago I had a voice session and it popped out like a couple of times. When I say certain words, it'll just go, I don't know, like that. There we go. And it's really funny if I'm doing like a like screaming or something like that. And I'm like, I sure hope this stays in my mouth. But I've got a new one that they just gave me that is basically like Invisalign. And so it's basically a mouthpiece that goes up and covers all my teeth up top. It's much more sturdy and stable and all, but it also it makes me, I don't know, I haven't really talked with it in that much. Makes me feel like I'm getting ready to go into boxing, I'm gonna get ready to kick some butt and whatnot. And for some reason I sound a little bit like Mike Tyson. Yeah, that's cool. It's fine. Jimmy Ricardo, good morning. Who was it? I think it was Dry Ice Cubes asked me about asking questions, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. So I hope Dry Ice Cubes joins us today. Is everyone having a fantastic and fabulous day today? It is currently 9:04 a.m., 9:04 a.m. at Los Angeles in Burbank time. That's right, it's a sunny 72 out here in L.A., and it's going to be that way pretty much all freaking day and year. And Dry Ice Cubes is here! Dry Ice Cubes, this one is for you, baby. I got your question about asking questions. I'm going to go over a lot of that. So, last 2 days, are you off because of the snow? Ooh. Actually, if I wanted to go get snow, I just go up to the mountain, Big Bear or Arrowhead. I believe there's plenty of snow up there right now. That's the crazy thing about living where I am. Depending on where you are, like from Burbank, 2 hours you're in Big Bear, and an hour you're at the beach. It's really cool. 3:35 a.m. in Adelaide. Go to sleep, Jimmy. What the hell? Yeah, so I love Adelaide, guys. I love Adelaide. I loved jogging up and down the river there by the convention center, and so awesome. Do me a favor, guys. Post on your socials that I'm live right now. How about that? Let's get some people going. Let's start making this thing move. Let's move the dial over into the red, man. Let's get these things going. You guys are awesome, and I love having you guys here. You are my base. You guys are kicking it into high gear, and I want to share this with people because we're finding Kim and I are both starting to branch out, and things are starting to happen. She had an event last night, and I think she had like 15 people there, and interesting. She had a great event about called Design Your Reign 2020, and because she has Crown Yourself, and so she had a great session there, and so now we're going to do a relationship live event over there probably in the next month or two. So that's going to be cool. So we're going to be talking all about how we do what we do. And since I've talked about dating and relationships for 14 years, I know a little something about that. And since I wrote the book, Food Game, some of you guys have it. And if you've read it, I know what I'm talking about. So asking questions. We're going to get into that. May as well make good. Absolutely, Jimmy. Well, thank you so much for staying up and checking us out. I'm going to be here for another 45, 50 minutes, and I'm going to get started on the podcast here in about 8 minutes. And so until then, it's just you guys. We're talking. Anything in particular, especially you, Dry Ice Cubes, anything in particular you want me to hit on as far as questions go? I'm going to be kind of all over the map because it's a broad topic. But I'll talk about, questions in persuasion, questions in, what are you actually doing, what is you actually want out of somebody, how to ask the right questions, etc. And hopefully I'll be able to cover a lot of bases on this. And I'll go into more depth and detail later on some of the other podcasts as I, go further. I will really drill in to certain aspects with with NLP, it's like how to ask this way and that way, etc. Ant Fitz Dix 1995. Good morning. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I did enjoy working on Dynasty Warriors. That was a lot of fun. You're going to see this is going to be an interesting diversion from the voice acting. I mean, every now and then, of course, I might do a voice or two. I mean, that's what I do, right? But I'm talking about personal growth and self-help and coaching because I am a coach. And I'm stepping into that role more and more. I've been, teaching dating and relationships for 14 years. I'm also into sales and business and real estate, et cetera, so I can teach a lot of that. But mostly it's all about mindset, communication, and connection. That is my strong suit, and I can help you guys. So, okay, and you're now hosting me. I don't know what that means. See, I'm new to Twitch, but thank you for that. If you're hosting me, I don't know what that means, but I am thankful. You rock. Who's awesome? You are. That's right. It's one of my favorite memes is the one with Bill Murray from Stripes. Dating tip is don't talk like Shinji on a date. True story. I think I talk about it on one of my videos on YouTube. I think I talked about that. It's so funny because I just talked with. I mean, I'm friends with so many of the women that I dated on Facebook. So that's another thing. It's like, people say, oh man, we broke up and then we just went, and then they don't like it. Most of the women that I was with, I mean, we were on good terms. And that's kind of the clue is that when people are saying, hey, what happens when you break up? Well, you break up, it means you go a different way, but that doesn't mean you have to break out and butt heads. You can be very nice, and I'm Facebook friends with many, many women that I dated, so that's cool. But anyway, so yeah, that girl that on that date, she just had a big. She's a musician, so she just had a big show going, and I wished her all the best, and promoted her show for her, and it's too funny. When I look back at it, it's like, yeah, that was a mistake. a girl finds you attractive, and you're like, yeah, that thing is good. And then you go, well, because I know date's over. Good night. Thank you so much. So, yeah, that sexual attraction just went out the window, apparently. And I was on the 8th floor, so it went out the window, fell, and died. Oh, the silliness that has been my life, and I've learned so much from it. And I'm still silly, so that's fun. And we're going to have a good time today. I'm looking forward to it. And so ask me any questions you have about questions right now, so I'll have something to go off of for you guys. But anyway, so that's going to happen in about 4 minutes or so. I'm still in the booth here because we don't have internet out in my studio yet, so I don't know when that's going to happen. But for now, the main thing about these is I get to Twitch stream with you guys and pops over to YouTube, and that's pretty much it. But when I do the actual podcast, that's going to be pulled audio, so I've got a really good mic here, so this is awesome. How do you actually come up with questions to ask? Excellent. What were you thinking, man? Stevie Wonder would have seen that coming. Ha, 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 ha! Dude, when you're in it, you're in it. You just deal with it. So, but see, here's the thing, the thing that turned her off could turn others on. So, I had a 50-50 shot back then. So, anyway, I actually didn't think it would have done anything. It's like going, hey, I'm a voice actor. This is what I do. Yeah. That's like when I do Jason Statham, it's like this, And my wife's like, you can keep talking like that if you want. I'm like, all right, love. She's like, not sure that's a good thing. Anyway. So, yeah. What else can I tell you guys before we get started here? That's kind of where we are. We are getting close to making this work. What are some things to build on to make a good question? Excellent. I will share plenty of that with you. When's the right time to ask questions? Always ask questions. So, excellent. This is good. I will be covering all these topics for you. And at the end, we can circle back around if I miss anything, because I do not have notes. I'm just going off the cuff, which is what I usually do. And that's the way it works right here on my show. So, that's what I'm talking about, guys. We're going to have fun. Man, I haven't even had breakfast. I'm going to be 10. It's going to be almost 11. It's going to be lunchtime. I got a voiceover at 12:30. Okay. I'm going to have some tonkatsu this morning. That's what I have. Oh, man. Had the best. I was over in Glendale yesterday. I was walking up Brand because I had to take my car in for a little something. And I ended up going to a little ramen place, Kopan Ramen. I think it's a chain, maybe. What a great deal. Man. I had lunch was they had a lunch special, so you had a bowl of ramen, which was really tasty, very nice. And they also gave you a donburi bowl, which was, I had rice, really nicely done egg. It was still kind of creamy, and ribeye sauteed in like a sweet teriyaki sauce and all that. And it was like, $15 for all of it. And it was great. Oh, so good. Oh, I want to go back over there. When I take my car back in next week, I'll go back. How about that? One of the biggest obstacles. And, hey, gotcha. Interrogating people when I ask them questions. Ah, yes. I will get all of those. I think I'm going to scroll down on those and ask those as I'm talking. Okay. Here we go, guys. Let's get this thing on the road. Let's do this. Are you ready? Are we ready? So if anybody new comes on, guys, just let them know. I won't be answering any questions until done with the podcast. So here we go. Hello, and welcome to the Mind Scrambler podcast. I am your host, Spike Spencer, and I'll be saying stuff about things and shit. Wow, that was a good opening, wasn't it? One of my better ones. All right, guys. Today on this show, we are going to be talking about asking questions. Now, in business, there are courses after courses after courses after courses about how to ask questions, how to have persuasion. I am an NLP trained coach. That's neuro-linguistic programming. So I am trained to ask certain questions in a certain way because you want to find how somebody makes their judgments, how they make their buying judgments. And that's one aspect of persuasion. But I'm also a bank certified trainer, which is personality sales training, which teaches you how to find somebody's actual value system, which is, to me, like an NLP master hack because you can do it in 90 seconds or less, which is quite amazing. And but that's the use of 4 cards. But I'm also trained to what is called speed code and watch. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not the best at it at all. I get it wrong a lot as well. But that's part of the fun. That's why you ask more questions. I'm also going to talk about when you're asking questions, there's a certain way you have to ask questions. It's a way, if you're asking questions of like something of like if you're praying, for example, I don't care if you're praying, if you're Christian or Muslim or you believe in the flying spaghetti monster or whatever it is. But when you pray, you ask. You're asking something. If you're praying for something, you're asking for something. So that's why I said, ask and ye shall receive. And there are different aspects of that. So we're going to cover a lot about asking questions. So let me start by, let's talk about relationships a little bit. Any relationship, doesn't matter, business relationship, personal relationship. When you're asking questions, ask yourself, are you asking a question because you really want to know the answer? Or are you asking questions because you just want to ask a question? You just want to speak, Because usually when we're in a conversation and we're listening to somebody, we're looking for an opportunity to speak. We're not looking for an opportunity to get more information from them. We are just waiting to talk. So in your questions, a lot of times they're just banal questions, and they're yes or no questions, or they're not really leading anywhere. So when you think about questions, you want to think about something that is going to lead somewhere. And by that I mean you don't ask yes or no questions. There's a caveat to that. It's called the yes ladder, and I'll talk about that in a minute. When you're asking questions, you want to get somebody to open up. You want to develop a relationship. You want to develop rapport with that person. So ask them something that is interesting that will open them up. And you have to watch for clues. Here's how you ask a question. You have to be observant. If you're on a subject and they're shutting down and I don't want to keep this line of questioning, well, you need to ask a different line of questioning to keep the conversation going and open them up. And so, for example, instead of saying like, let's say you're on a date and you go, so, do you like music? Yes. There you go. Nothing's happening, right? What kind of music do you like to listen to? Oh, I like this and this and this. Well, how does that make you feel? Does it light you up? Does it, what does that do to you? And then she'll go into a thing about how, oh man, a dancing queen at ABBA back in the 70s. I remember this video I saw when I was a kid, or I saw a replay on YouTube because I'm only 20 or whatever. And all my friends were at the party and we had a few drinks and we were all jumping around, da 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 da. You see what happened with the question? You asked a question and it brought this whole memory back. It brought this whole feeling back. That's the kind of questions you want to ask. You want to ask questions that go somewhere, that develops for you, for them, that just lets you know more about them. Be curious. That's the key. Be curious. Now, I know when sometimes you're asking questions and you're just like, well, what about this? What about that? It's like a rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. That's where a lot of those yes-no questions come in. If you're asking a question and you genuinely want to know more about that person or more about their story, be interested. If you want to be interesting, be interested. And did I just go blurry on you guys? Can you see me? I see. Hi. There we go. My camera is odd. So, interesting. So, be interested in somebody else's story. ask them things that go further on with their story. It's like, oh, and then what happened is actually, you're like, and then what happened? And then what happened? And then what happened? It can get a little old, but it's like anything else. It's a skill. Asking questions is a skill. You need to take the time to be interested in what they're doing and who they are. Find out things about them. And if you are genuinely interested, then they'll feel that. If you're doing it to get to something, if you're expecting something, if you kind of push them, that's a little manipulative, and that feels wrong. But if you can teach yourself to be genuinely interested in other people's stories, then you will become very interesting yourself. That is one aspect of asking questions. Stay away from the yes or no questions and go with something that will lead to something. Be very, very interested, genuinely interested in their story and who they are, and then you can pick parts of whatever their answer is. And remember in your brain, go, oh, I want to talk about that more. I want to talk about that more. Then ask a question on that little aspect of they just talked about, like she's talking about this whole big ABBA party she's, started because the Dancing Queen came on, whatever it was, it's like, well, depending if she's young, you're like, well, how'd you find ABBA? How did you, and she may say, what was it, what was the movie, the ABBA movie? I forgot the ABBA movie. It was a great movie, and 2 was really good too. But you just ask questions going off on that. And that way, the story continues and it moves along. Now, another aspect of asking questions, like I said about prayer, it says in the Bible, and I may get this completely wrong because I'm like Christian-ish. I understand the science aspects that are being proven now because of quantum physics, et cetera, and it's really interesting to me. But one of the things we've all heard is ask and ye shall receive. And I think there's a part missing in there because I think people have quoted that for so long that they have lost. It's like ask and believing that ye receive, comma, ye shall receive. I think that was cut out somewhere because that is a huge, huge thing. Believing that you already receive it is the key. That's the faith that you have. So if we know that, as according to the Bible or according to universal law, if you ask, you are going to get it. Now remember, even if you're asking something that is negative, you're going to get it because your subconscious just goes, okay, I'll give you whatever it is you ask for. So when you ask for something, believe that you receive it, and that's the feeling that radiates. That's what people call frequency or vibration, and that's an emotion that is tied to the question. So if you ask for something, I want a Mercedes, say, dear Lord, please deliver me a Mercedes. Then great, you deliver a Mercedes. It's not like it's going to show up on your door. Well, actually, it could, depending on how great of a manifester you are. That actually literally can happen. But let's say, you want generally good health. Well, if you ask for good health, but you're constantly saying, I'm sick, I'm just sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick. Your body, your subconscious is going to go, okay, you're sick, okay, you're sick, okay, you're sick. Lord, I want to be well, but I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick. That's all you're going to be getting is you're going to be sick, 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 because you don't believe. But if you believe, then you can get well. It's documented over and over and over again. I'm not saying do not take medicine, et cetera, all that. Not at all. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to say that. Trust me, I'm the first guy to take some antibiotics if I have to. But I don't normally have to. And I am in constant good health because I believe I am in constant good health. And I have avoided colds and flus. I have avoided all kinds of things. I've had, when I'm sick, I'm like, this is gone tomorrow. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It just depends on, where my brain is. But it does help. Believing that you are receiving. What is going on with this camera? Hold on a second. I think. Hello. Okay, it's focused on my hand. Now me. Now. Well, I guess I'm just going to be blurry today. So, if you believe in the answer, or you believe that you're going to get something, it was in a book that I always recommend, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I think it's Joseph Murphy. I'm still finishing that my first time around. And I think it was in there. There was a great analogy, metaphor, I guess. He said, remember down like Christmas. Think about Christmas. You're a kid, and your parents say, you're getting a pony. You know they're going to get you a pony. They're going to get you a pony. They've told you they're going to get you a pony. You know they're going to deliver on that. You're going to get a pony. Woo, pony time. That's awesome, and you're so freaking excited. It's ridiculous. Why are you excited? You don't have the pony yet. You know you're going to get that pony. So you're already excited, and you're already feeling that emotion, that you're vibrating on that frequency of, I have a pony. If you can vibrate on that frequency the same way when you pray, when you ask for something, then that is the frequency that goes out into the universe, quantum entanglement, quantum physics, quantum whatever, and that brings you what you want. The time frame, I don't know. The time frame is up to the universe, God, whatever it is, noodle monster. But the fact that it is there and that you asked for it in the right way, believing that it will be delivered, that is the psychology of belief. That is how people manifest things. And it's really cool stuff. And I'm learning that more and more every day. I'm working on that in various ways. In real estate, in my relationship with my wife, in voiceover, in speaking and coaching, etc. I'm asking the right questions, and I'm asking for certain things, and I will receive them. And I know that. Well, when, I don't know exactly. That's not up to me. So that's the one thing. The yes ladder I talked about earlier. When you're asking questions, the yes ladder is an old school sales technique. I use it in dating, you use it in business, use it in whatever. It's a rapport builder. It's very simple. It's you ask small questions that you know you're going to get a yes to. You have to know you're going to get a yes. It's not I'm not sure if I'm going to get a yes. No, you know you're going to get a yes. Is your name, is your name Susan? Yeah, my name's Susan. Cool. Do you live at this address? Yeah, cool. In business, and say, I see you have a house. This is a house, right? This is a full house. Yes, it's a house. And this is in also another book called Influence by Robert Cialdini, which is classic. It's pretty much known as like the book to about influence, about sales and persuasion. Hold on a second. I've got to look at the settings on this. Why is this doing this on my video? Sorry, guys. Output. Video output is currently inactive. Turn off any outputs to change video session. Oh, okay. Let's do that. Then how do I turn that off? I'll do this here. And then I'll go back to this one. Did that do it? No, that did not do it. Huh. So I have no video capture. Apparently, I don't even know if you can even see me now. I've been frozen for a while. Okay. Sorry, going for a little technical here, working on some technicals, as I don't understand this at all. Why is this doing this? Let's do this. Turn off any outputs. I don't even know what that means, people. Yeah. So, I guess I'm going to have to work on this. Let's try defaults. Let's go for that. All right. And say whatever. Okay, so now I'm on this one. I'm on my computer. So there's that. Now let's try to switch back. See, I'm learning so much. Let's see, device. Let's go back to this one. There we go. Boom, look at that. Huh? Who figured this out? All right. There we go. I think this should be working. Uh-oh. All right, guys. Now we're back at it. I think we're back at it. Anyway, so hopefully the video is good and you can see me now. So we've had a little technical difficulty, but you know what? We're going to roll on because that's how I go. So we had some questions I was going to talk about, and I think pretty much is you always want to ask questions. You always want to be genuinely interested in what the other person has to say. If you find that, it's, again, like I said before, if you want to be interesting, be interested. So genuinely be interested in what somebody else is saying, and it will flow fine. Because if you're listening, you're genuinely listening to somebody, all the clues are there. It's just a conversation. And you go, okay, wow, that's cool. I want to learn some more. I'd like to know more about you. How did you come to be this person? I mean, it's very interesting because if you just ask questions, sometimes you will become the most interesting person in their life. There are more and more stories I've heard of speakers and businessmen and said, you know what, I just stopped selling and I just started asking questions. And then suddenly everybody's buying my products. They're following up with me. They're referring me to their friends. It's because you are now interesting. Because if you're trying to get something, if you're the expectation of, I want to get this, and this is how I'm going to get this, that comes off as manipulative and a little sleazy, a little smarmy, right? And that energy is felt. But if you are really genuinely interested in somebody, then they're going to feel that as well, and they're going to be more at ease. So, for example, in the dating world, what I would do, part of it's in Food Game, I did not expect anything. And I also expected that whatever was to happen was going to happen, and it was going to be exactly as it was supposed to happen. That's a tenet of NLP as well, that I didn't know at the time, but I just felt it. It was energetically. It's like, hey, you know what? Whatever happens, happens, and we're good. Am I blurry again? Man, this is loopy. I don't know why it's doing that. So, anyway, I'm just gonna have to go with it because this is mostly audio anyway. That's the key that needs to be there. So I think you might be able to hear my baby in the other room there. He's getting changed. So by being genuinely interested in somebody, you just chat, just talk with them and let it flow. Because when I had, back to what I was saying, was when I have dates, it was, I would just talk to them. And I even let them know at the beginning. I say, hey, look, if anything happens tonight, awesome. If nothing happens tonight, awesome. I don't care. Door's open. You can leave anytime. It's no big deal. I immediately at ease. And then, of course, they get their safety call about 15, 30 minutes in. Just, if you don't know what that is, read the book. The ladies who are watching this go, oh, yeah, I get my safety call right about 15 minutes in. So, by just having a conversation, an honest, open conversation, you're going to do so much better. And you can start asking questions at any time. It's like, hey, how you doing today? I'm doing great. I'm feeling bad. Oh, is there anything I can do to help? Well, maybe. It's just kind of flowing along, and you just go, okay, great. Maybe. Well, would you tell me what that might be? Just keep on going. Just keep chatting. And then learn more about the person. If it's in business that you want to find out, do you have any common things in common? Where'd you go to school? I went to the University of Houston. Me too. Go Cougs. Stuff like that. That's sales 101. They say, look around and get to know. There's a question. It's called FORM, family, occupation, recreational, and what's the last one? M is, I don't say money. What's the M on that one? I'm going to have to think about that one. But it's, you ask about the family. Hey, tell me about your family. Tell me about, what you're doing in life. What's your project? I work at the post office. Well, what got you to the post office? Well, I just wanted the benefits and everything. It's like, so benefits for your family. Oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. So you just keep going and going and going. Just ask questions. And there's different ways of asking questions, more persuasively. There's one, I keep forgetting. It's one of my favorites. It's NLP. It's like, so that sounds like a good idea. Doesn't it? At the last part of it, doesn't it? Don't you? Doesn't it? Because when you go up like that, it's like, it's interesting. Somebody go, subconsciously, it's like, well, yeah, of course. It's almost like going, of course it does. Of course that sounds good. And somebody just kind of, it's an interesting way of asking a question. Plus, there's another one. It's, how when you ask a question at the end, it always goes up? Well, if you ask a question, it goes down, but it's a question that would go up. So you'd like to buy now? You'd like to buy this now? Does that sound like it? No. So you'd like to buy this now? Oh, see what happened? It went down instead of up. So it's like uncertainty or certainty. Oh, so you'd like to buy this now? Would you like to buy this now? Or would you like to buy this now or later? It's like, would you like to buy this now? So that's just another little fun fine-tuning with questions. But the bottom line, as I've said, is be interested in who they are, in what they have to offer, and just let it flow. If you are genuinely interested in who someone is and what they do, you're going to figure it out. You're going to get better questions. And always think about internally, we usually think external. It's like, ask you about that picture, or ask you about that, or ask you about this. When you start thinking internally and asking them about really deep questions, I mean, not right off the bat. So what lights you up in the internal fires of your soul? That's kind of creepy. So, but along the lines of, what do you really want to do in life? What gives you a sense of purpose on this earth? Things like that. When you start having deeper conversations, the questions will flow easier. If you keep it on a surface level, then, you can't develop that rapport quick enough. And that may take a little time, so you have to kind of get to know people. You don't ask the deep, deep questions right off the bat, which is interesting because some people, coaching, they're going to get coaching clients and go, what's your biggest pain point? Where does your life suck right now? I'm a coach, I'm going to help you. That's one of those weird things where it's like going, wow, you're just trying to sell me on something. It's like, hey, how's it going? How's your day? And if they go into the point where it's like, oh, my relationships are crap, and it's like, well, tell me more about that. Tell me more about those relationships. Well, I just feel that this and this, I don't know how to do this and that. Well, I do, actually, and that's what I teach. I've got a product that it could really, really help you if you're interested. I'd like to share more about that. Would you like to hear more about that? Well, yeah, I really would. Okay, great. No big deal. If they say no, it's like, okay, well, it's on my site if you like that, whatever, if you want that product. Because if you have something that somebody needs and they need that and you can help them, then yeah, let them know about it, right? So in the sales persuasion arena, if you don't believe in what you're selling, then you're going to be manipulative and you're going to be asking questions and not really trying to find the answer to help that person. You'll be asking questions just to try to manipulate them into buying whatever the crap it is that you don't even believe in. So if you know in the business or sales world that you can help somebody, then great. Ask their questions and find out if it's a fit. In the dating and relationship world, I was always like, well, I know what I can do to help you. It'll help me help you, and we're all happy, And I believed in myself, and I believed that I could, and I could. And I did. And so the dating and relationship world was very good to me. And it can be very good to you as well. If you believe in yourself, you believe in your product, and you genuinely want to connect. And not, I just want to get something from somebody. That's the mindset going in is the situation. Because people will say, and I was having this conversation with a woman recently, and she talked about NLP and banks. She's like, oh, it's all manipulation. I said, no, it's not at all. It's about rapport and respect for the other person's viewpoint. Because if you're going in and you don't care about their viewpoint, and you're doing it by rote to get a sale or to get something, then yeah, it can be manipulative. But it's also like, a knife can stab somebody, or it can chop vegetables and feed you. It doesn't matter. I said, nuclear power can run a city or ruin a city. It's all in how you use it. What's the viewpoint? How is somebody using this knowledge? I don't manipulate. I truly believe in what I'm talking about. And if I can share with you in a positive way, the information that I'm telling you here, then that's great. That's what I want to do. And it is honest and open. And if you don't like it, if you don't believe in it, that's totally cool. I don't care. Doors open. Rock and roll. But by talking to you guys and telling you the information that I have, I mean it. I know I can help you. I know that if you're asking the right questions, different doors will open up. So asking the right questions with the right attitude, that's pretty much the key. And so think about your mindset, because all of the training that I've ever done in pretty much any aspect, everything starts on the inside. Everything. So always ask questions of you. Oh, another thing. This is a biggie. Be aware, if you ask why to somebody, you're going to get a lot of reasons that are usually coming from a victim status. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Because If you ask something more like, what's the purpose of this? It tweaks it just enough to where you're like, what is the purpose? Why am I angry? Why am I angry? Why am I angry? Because I'm angry. Because. What is the purpose? Oh, well, the purpose is not because. The purpose is I want to get this reaction from you because I have to assuage the way I'm feeling from this past hurt or yabba dabba 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 dabba. But you get it. The point is you're going into a different place. You're not asking why, because why gives you because. Why? Because, blah, blah, blah. What's the purpose behind that? That makes me think. What is the purpose behind me acting this way? What is the purpose behind, what am I getting out of this? You start asking questions. So ask yourself these questions. What is the purpose of whatever it is? Why, if you're angry, you go, why am I angry? Somebody cuts you off. Why am I angry? Well, what's the purpose of me being angry? What is that going to do for me? Is that helping me? No. So what is the purpose? Think about that. It is just a minor tweak, but it is so enlightening. So, all right, blurry video and all. This has been a lovely podcast. I covered a lot. I was kind of all over the board. But the bottom line, as I said, try not to open with yes or no questions unless you're doing a yes ladder, which means, start with the yes questions that you already know the answer to is going to be a yes. And you ask for the small things and get up to the big things. The story in the Cialdini's influence was they had an 80% response rate of no when they asked people to put a big sign in their yard that said, please drive safely. They did exactly the same thing on another area, and they had a crazy, only a 30%, I think it was, response rate in the no, because prior to the asking for the big sign, they said, can we put a 3x5 sign in your yard for it says drive safely? And they said, oh, sure, no problem. Boom. So now they got this little one. Then they would go back and ask a month later, can we put this big sign in your yard that says drive safely? Oh, yeah, sure. I've already got the small one there, so why not? Yes, yes, yes. There you go. Great book, Robert Cialdini, Influence. I still haven't finished it, actually. I think I got halfway through that, and I need to keep going. Anywho, so there's the yes ladder. Ask open-ended questions. Be genuinely interested if you want to be interesting. And the belief. If you're asking for something, remember the belief. You have to believe, you have to feel it, that you have already received it. That's where manifesting comes in. We'll talk about that some other time. And then finally, remember, instead of why questions, say, what is the purpose? And there you go, guys. That is the Mind Scrambler podcast for today. I hope we scrambled up some ideas for you there. And I look forward to seeing you on the next Mind Scrambler podcast. Thank you so much. I am Spike Spencer, and I am wishing you an amazing day. Go out and do something extraordinary. See you later. That's the podcast, y'all. All right. Let's go over to the chat and say howdy, howdy. The video is crisp. Okay, great. See you a bit blurry. Oh, Mamma Mia. That's right. Mamma Mia. Captain Nim. What's up? All right. So I hope I answered some of your questions. If I didn't, please ask them again. Let me make sure I got it covered. Because, see, asking the questions, here's the interesting thing. Like I didn't really get into it, but Excellent. Good, good, good. So, for example, in neurolinguistic programming, in sales, they talk about finding somebody's buying style or buying strategy. So in NLP, you have your audio-visual, kinesthetic, or audio-digital. I am highly audio-digital. That means you're in your head. That's self-talk, right? So you would ask somebody, so what was the last thing you bought? And they say, oh, I bought a pair of shoes. Okay, so when you bought this pair of shoes, what drew you to the shoes? And they say, oh, well, I saw them first. I said, okay. Then after you saw them, then what did you do? Oh, well, I touched them and I put them on and I wanted to feel them. Oh, okay. And then what did you do? And they'll tell you and they'll go. But see, that's the interesting thing. When you look at that, you go, okay, so you saw them, visual. Then what did you do? Oh, then you put them on and felt them. That's kinesthetic. And then they say, well, because some people would say, what did you do when you saw the things? Well, I didn't really look at the shoes. I just looked at the price. Oh, audio digital thinking, think, or they're just cheap. I don't know, because I do it too. I'm like, I'm not going to pay ridiculous amounts for that. But anyway, I'm audio digital, so there you go. And then I'll see them. I'm like, oh, they look pretty good. But I'm looking for a certain style. For example, audio digital for me, let's say I'm looking for shoes. I go and I'll look at, I'll go to Ross and I'll just look and say, okay, this is 7.5 or whatever. That's my foot size. I'm looking around. I'm like, are there any shoes that I like that look like what I want? Okay, there, boom. I've done that. Okay, now I'll look at that. Now I'll look at the price and go, okay, and I'll try them on. Because if it's too expensive for me, or not expensive, if I don't think that's a wise amount to pay for this shoe, then I'm just going to put it back. I'm not even going to put it on to see if it feels right. So if it feels right is the last thing I do. So I'm kinesthetic last. So that's interesting. When you're talking to somebody and you find that out, then you know how to talk to them. Now, the bank personality code thing finds that out in 90 seconds. So it's really cool. 5280, howdy. So how do you get past anxiety and speak to people when you have such high anxiety you forget everything you have practiced before the meeting? Well, that's a deep one, and that depends on you. If you have a lot of anxiety, there's a whole anxiety model that we can get rid of anxiety very, very quickly. But here's a couple of tips for you. If you have anxiety and you need medical or something, it's something that is physical that you need other help with. I'm not going to tell you to not get that. You need to get that. You need to get that help. I am not a therapist in that way. But a couple of ideas. For anxiety, there are read The Power of the Subconscious Mind, because a lot of anxiety is just built up. And once you understand, you're like that. Sometimes that anxiety just goes away. But if you have anxiety with something, you go through visually the successful completion of this task. Let's say you have anxiety and you want to speak in front of a crowd of 1,000 people, and you're like, "Holy crap, I'm going to poop myself." Well, what you do is for a week leading up to that, 4 times a day, you meditate on that and you visualize you speaking in front of this crowd, perfectly relaxed, them laughing, them being attentive, whatever it is. You visualize that over and over and over again. And by the time it comes to actually happen, you've already done it dozens of times. So it's not like, oh my gosh, this is a big thing. It's like, awesome, I'm doing it again. That takes away some of the anxiety. Plus, your mind does not know the difference between something real and vividly imagined. Think about that for a second. This is why a lot of people, when they recall something from their past, some things never even happened. We found out that that's really, really a big deal. People are like, that actually never happened. It's like, no, this is exactly how it happened. Well, we found footage, and that's not what happened. Here's what happened. And you go, wow, I would have sworn that that's how it happened. Because you thought about it, you tweaked it, you changed it over years, decades even. So anyway, that's kind of off the target there. But if you have high anxiety and you're forgetting, understand this as well. Your subconscious mind knows and records everything in your life. Everything. So when you realize that everything you have learned is in you, you have to be able to get it out, right? There were studies that said if you you had like 4 drinks and studied, and then you went the next day and you were sober and you tried to remember everything, you couldn't. But if you had 4 drinks, suddenly it all came flowing back. You're like, oh, I got it. It's in my brain there. It's just a weird, up and down. I'm not saying to, do that. But the point is, it's in there. And when you realize, that's another meditation affirmation, you let your subconscious mind know, everything that I have studied, everything is there. I know it. Relaxation is the key. When you're tense, that anxiety, you're in fight or flight mode. That fight or flight mode, its logic goes out the window. So it's very difficult when you're trying to do something and you have high anxiety. Well, just think about anything you're doing. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, you're trying to write your name. So you write your name. You write your name. That's easy. You write your name. You write your name. And then the baby starts crying. You write your name. Then the radio goes on. You write your name. Now the TV's on. You write your name. And then somebody's popping firecrackers. You write your name. God damn it! Ah! It's harder to write your name. You look at back at how you wrote your name, and it's like fine, gets a little off, a little different. Then there's a scribble because that anxiety affects you. So relaxation techniques, read the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. You can get it, like I said, you can pull it off the internet for free, a PDF. Somewhere. The one I've got is just horribly misspelled, and all that, but I think it's public domain, so that's a really good one. When you understand how your subconscious mind works, then you'll get it. Another great way is, it's called, I think it's a fast phobia model. If you know something is going to happen, there's a way, it's called timeline therapy, which I'm certified to teach, and it's incredible, but it goes very, very deep. However, there's a quick one that will allow you, if you have a timeline, think of it this way. You have something that you want to do, and it's here. Let's say where the video is. All right, this way. All right, so let's say here is where you are, and here is where you want to be. Here's the today is today, next week is whatever you need to do. So what you do is, if you think about a timeline between this and this, then raise above it. You float. It's like visually float above that timeline, and you see how there's a line between now and then, whatever that is. You, in your mind's eye, you float above that timeline, and you float over to that thing that's going to happen next week, whatever it is. Then you float 15 minutes past that and look back at that thing that is going to happen, and you float back down into 15 minutes past that thing in your mind, and you look back as it was completed perfectly and amazing, and you're looking back at it and you can feel it now. You already got it. It's already completed. It's already perfect. It was amazing. So in your mind's eye, you've already gone past it. You already know it's going to be great. It's amazing. Why? Because you've already seen it. And while you're sitting there looking at it, feel that feeling. Feel that feeling of, oh man, this is amazing. The people are standing and clapping. Look at that. They're right there. They're doing that. Awesome. Then float back and go, yes, I got this. Fast phobia. Do I meditate? Yes, I do. I'm not into TM yet. I'm going to transcendental meditation. My wife does that. She's swearing by it, and I'm going to learn that. Right now I do affirmations, and I'm also a trained hypnotist, but I'm not I don't do it. I don't hypnotize people. I would like to learn more of that, but I do self-hypnosis kind of thing. And I have a way where I just sit and I relax, and I start, it's a ladder sort of thing where I come down, and I blank out everything so it's clear. I relax, and the relaxation is really interesting. If you relax, if you really spend 10 minutes, sometimes people find it hard to meditate for 1 minute. And I was thinking, it's really great. If you want to, you take 3 deep breaths, nice, in and out, slow, and then you're there. You can think of one word that you want, like power or relaxation or clarity, whatever it is. And you take some deep breaths, relax, and think of nothing else but that word, and just repeat it every 5 seconds. Clarity. 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 And if and other ideas and other things are going to come into your brain, just go, they're out. Clarity. Try that for 1 minute and see if you can do that. whatever word it is that works with you for that moment. I call it a 1-minute meditation. You will feel a difference. You will feel a difference. And the thing about meditation, it really is just focus and relaxation. If you can get to that point in your brain where you can shut everything off and relax, you're recharging your batteries, and you are in charge of your mind. You are in charge of your thoughts, people. You. Nobody else is. Nobody else is. No one else can be. So when you realize you have that power, you go, whoa, I really do have this power. Stop letting other people control you, because you're allowing them to control you. If you get angry at somebody, you're allowing whatever they did to disturb your calm, and you don't want that. You don't want that. So you're in charge, as Jim Fortin, another great podcast I would highly recommend, is you are the thinker of your thoughts. You are in charge. So if you are thinking something bad, then move your attention to something good. And I was just reading today, it's a great point. Whatever it is that you have, that you're dealing with, that is the negative, and you're looking at it like, oh my God, I have anxiety. Well, what is your desire? Your desire is calm. So that's the other, it's almost the opposite spectrum of whatever it is you're feeling. So when you think about, oh my God, I have anxiety, you go, I move my thoughts to calm. I'm the thinker. I'm in charge. My focus is going to calm. And then when you're in charge like that, your subconscious mind goes, oh, okay, you're figuring this out. Now, that's work. That's ongoing work. That's daily work. That could take you, days, weeks, months. But over time, you're so in charge of it that it'll be like that fast. That anxiety, you feel the anxiety coming up, and you just go, nope, I'm calm. Boom. And you get it. It's like anything else. It's a muscle that you are working. So that's something to think about. Anyway, I'm coming up to the end. I got 3 minutes. Is there any questions that I did not get, that I did not cover in today's podcast? Because if I did not, I am apologizing now. I will turn it off and turn it on again like I did the camera. See, the camera looks great now. What the hell was that? You guys know? I have no idea what that technical glitcheroo was. But at least you could hear me the whole time. So that's whenever I pull that for sound, it'll be all right. Because I'm pretty much not editing crap. People are like going, well, you need to edit this and edit that. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. What I'm saying is true, and what I'm saying is real, and that's how we roll. We don't edit in our daily life. Gremlins. Oh, yeah, that's funny. Actually, I'm friends with Michael Winslow, who did the Gremlins, all the Mogwai and the Gremlins voices. He's hysterical. So, all right, guys, then that was a fun time. I'm really glad you guys are all here. No questions here from me for now. Awesome. Good. I'm really glad you like this one. I hope that helped. I mean, it's a very large, questions are everything. And, sales and relationships. So keep it. Everything a person throws at me when I first speak to them, what is most important to remember? Their name, etc. Well, here's the thing. Change that. Number one, you can't remember everything. You do remember everything. You just can't recall it. So, tell yourself, instead of saying, and this is something I have to work on too, because I am one of those guys that it's like for years I've been saying, you can tell me your name and I forget it, like immediately. So there's a couple of different ways that you can deal with that, but you say, I remember names. I know everybody's names. When somebody tells me a name, it's in my noggin. There are there's memory training that you can go and do and work with and learn. There are books you can buy on memory. There are tricks. Again, it's all knowledge. It's something that you do every day. It's something like anything else, like a push-up. You do a push-up. If you do one push-up a day, then 2, then 3, then 4, before you know it, you're doing 50 push-ups at a time, and it's really awesome. So as far as, what are the most important things, names, and then, again, be interested. Just be interested. Everyone has a different story. Everyone has something that they want to tell you. If you ask the right questions, being interested in their story, when they give you that answer, you're going to be like, wow,
that really is interesting. You're going to remember their name because they'll be like, so what's the coolest thing you ever did in your life? He goes, I climbed Machu Picchu naked. You're going to be, wow, you're going to remember that. Your name's Rebecca. I will never forget that. So, all right, guys. Have a fantastic and wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me on my podcast in my bunker until we get the studio up and running. I look forward to chatting with you guys again. Sunday night is my next broadcast, and it will be Food for Thought. That's wide open. I may cook. We may talk about food. We may talk about self-help and personal growth. My wife could join me. I have no idea. I may have guests. I'm working on getting guests for the Sunday night show, so that's going to be fun. And please do me a favor, share this. Please, please, please share this on all your socials. Let people know. It's like, holy crap, this guy knows what he's talking about. And I'm doing it predominantly for the animation community, anime, video games, all of that, because this is what I'm ensconced in, you know? I mean, I'm not doing this for the real estate market right now, even though I could, but I can train people in real estate. I'm not focusing on that, but I do have that. So, food podcast, yes, it's called Food for Thought, and I may do a lot more because I'm a huge foodie and I cook. Well, if you've got the book Food Game, you know. All right, guys, see you later. Take care. Have a lovely day, and bye-bye.